My favorite part of the brain is the cerebellum by Stephanie Brandenburg.
The cerebellum is located in the metacephalon. It looks like a small second brain that's attached to the dorsal surface of the brainstem. In Latin, cerebellum actually means little brain. And the cerebellum contains more neurons than the entire brain combined. And that's what gives it the ability to complete so many different functions. When the cerebellum is viewed sagittally, the internal structures resemble a tree. The white matter or the axons form the trunk and branches, while the gray matter or the neural cell bodies form the leaves. The role of the cerebellum is to coordinate voluntary movements, maintain muscle tone, and regulate balance. Input from the spinal cord tells the cerebellum about the current location of the body in three-dimensional space. The input from the cerebral cortex by the way of the pons tells the cerebellum about the movements you intend to make. Then the cerebellum processes the sequences and timing of the muscle movements that's required to carry out the plan. And that's what gives us the ability to balance on a balance beam or to lift weights or to even reach for a cup. Although the cerebellum is located more posteriorly in the brain, it also plays a role in executive functions, emotional processing, and learning. When the cerebellum becomes damaged, our skilled movements become affected. We begin having difficulty with our speech production. This could range anywhere from a stutter to a lower tone in our voice. Our skilled movements could just be, reaching for an object takes a longer time, doesn't happen as quickly, or we can develop a tremor. The next slide shows a clip of a close friend of mine who had a stroke in her cerebellum. In this clip, she's attempting to eat lunch and demonstrates difficulty with simple motor movements, and she presents with a continuous tremor that's similar to Parkinson's. In the video, she actually discusses how she can tell that her voice sounds different, and she verbalizes her frustrations with her new impairments.
But the British accent helps.
That's the worst noise ever.
Oh God.
But you got this.
I got it. Nailed it.
Nailed it. Right in the kisser.
Buck. There's letters everywhere. My voice sounds so tiny.
You do sound tiny. After about 2 years of occupational, physical, and speech therapy, you can see that her balance has improved greatly, but she still has difficulty with her motor movements. They're still not fluent. She has difficulty controlling where her hands are going, and she still has this tremor. And the tremor is actually called cerebellar ataxia, and this is due to the stroke that she had in her cerebellum.
Sweet. What am I doing? Oh! Falling over. It's a miracle. Not falling. Oh shit. I'm good.
Although she is making progress, unfortunately, she'll never be 100% normal again. And that's because when the stroke happened, it damaged the neurons in her cerebellum. And those neurons were unable to rebuild new neural pathways to give her the fluent motor movements. The many roles of the cerebellum is what makes it my favorite part of the brain. I hope you enjoyed this presentation and learning about how damage to the cerebellum can truly be detrimental to our everyday life.